Over millenniums within the history of human existence, we've always wondered about time. No matter how advanced we've become or how ancient we've been, time has been of the most importance. So whether you are in the streets of London or in the streets of Harare, time is available to everyone. Everyone has the same amount of time in a day. Welcome to the Time and Organizational Skills Level 1 by Unoya Consultants. Now, the objectives of this course is to appreciate the value of time and understand how time and organization are linked. The impact of time can be cognitive symptoms like memory problems, emotional symptoms like moodiness, behavioral symptoms like eating more or less, aches and pains, which are your physical symptoms. These are all different impacts of time. So you might be whiling away thinking, what do I do? Why am I stuck? All this is because of time. You try to work, you've got a lot of work that you need to do for the day or for the week. Maybe there's a deadline that is impending, or maybe there's more that you need to do, but your productivity is impacted by time. Managing time becomes critical and important for your happiness and for your success. You cannot be organized in the absence of time. Your level of organization will determine how you use your time. Time is a resource which we have. It's limited, cannot be recovered, cannot be owned, cannot be given, but must be used. It exists. These are some of the time elements. Your time is events added together. Once you miss the bus, the time is gone. Time is a series of events that you have that are related to each other. So it's like a bus coming through to pick up different people. If you miss one, there's the next one. However, the impact is the events in the future. The speed of the events that occur in your life determine the things that you're going to achieve in the tomorrow. So if you're not managing the events that you're currently having, if you're not managing the speed that you currently do things, you might not succeed. You might just miss the destination. You might not get there at the time that you want. General statements like "Ndokuonana at 2" or "I'll see you at 2." What does this really mean? Does it mean I'll see you in the afternoon? Does it mean I'll get there by bus? Does it mean that I'll leave where I am at 1? Or does it mean I'll see you at 2 p.m. or 2 a.m.? What does it mean? Such statements can impact you. Organizing your personal time is important. In the 24 hours of the day, how many hours do you sleep? Maybe 8 hours. How many hours are spent at work? Maybe 9 hours. Subtract this from 24, you get a certain amount of time. Of the hours left, let's say maybe you have 7 hours that are left. That is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. The other hours, maybe it could be 17 hours, is time that is created to keep you busy. Of the hours when you are your own boss, e.g. the 7 hours, what investment do you make in yourself? Of the hours when you are your own boss, how disciplined are you? Is the hours even yours in your spare time? The events we find in the tomorrow are as a result of what we do in the today. The most important aspect of our time is not in the yesterday, but in the today. Time is the road we travel on, and we are the vehicles on that road. So whether we end up in space, whether we're flying to Jupiter, whether we're flying to the moon, time is always there. In its different dimensions or it's in different measurements, time will always exist. By the bus stop, when people are passing you by, these are all different events. These are all areas where time needs to be managed. If we miss the management of these events, we will fail. So you need to identify your objective. Justify why that objective. Identify resources needed. Decide what to take on whilst traveling towards that objective, and keep track of your activities. That will then assist you to be able to organize time. If you don't know why you're doing something, it becomes difficult for you to prepare. Preparation of time needs the right mindset, the right asset tools, the right objective, and the right environment. If you're in the wrong environment, you can't succeed. It's like launching a rocket ship.
8, 7, 6.
The ability of the rocket ship to go into space is determined by the amount of preparation that has been given to that particular mission. If you've not prepared enough, then you're not able to actually fly into space. You won't have the right type of equipment or the right type of vehicles to get you as far as you need to go. Even if you're using horses and you're in a carriageway, if you don't have the right amount of horses, you might not get to where you need to get. The baggages of time include your friends, your partners, your hobbies, your habits, your career choice, your emotions. What you will carry will determine if you reach your destination in time. If you've got the wrong friends or the wrong partners, you will spend more time dedicating to them such that you never invest in yourself. So time moves, and you wonder where time went. Every business is based on time. Look at McDonald's, Spar Supermarket, Air Zimbabwe, Gmail, Facebook. Why is time difficult in Africa? Time aspect is very important. Why you're doing something will determine the speed at which you do it. Look at an exercise, for example. If Mr. Jeffrey has opened a takeaway restaurant and his main dish is salads and a beef stew, he asks you for advice on how to structure his delivery service. His competition offers a 2-minute service delivery from order to when the is given to the client. His takeaway can only accommodate 10 standing people in a queue. How should he structure his time? Obviously, the way you prepare your food will determine how many people you can serve and how much time you need to be able to serve the people. So whether you're in a restaurant or you're not in a restaurant, or whether you're in a telecom business, what are the main time challenges that you can have? If, for example, Mr. Jeffrey, assuming his busiest hour is lunchtime from 12:30 to p.m. and he serves 150 people at that time, what will be his average service delivery time? These are the things you need to know to be successful. The beef needs to be cooked in the morning, and they can only cook a portion of 50 people per hour using their current machinery. The cooking is done with 2 people. If everyone starts at 8, what's the impact if one person is late by 30 minutes? What is the potential impact if the 2 cooks leave at 4 when they are supposed to be leaving at 5 o'clock? Who's going to wash the dishes? What's the impact on the tomorrow? Remember, time is a series of events. If one event is not taken care of, let's say from 8 to 1600 hours, where there's 480 minutes, if it takes 2 minutes to serve 240 people, if I miss 30 minutes of that 480 minutes, what is the impact? Organization is next to perfection. Organizing means arranging things systematically and in order. That way you can then impact time properly. It's like a series of dominoes falling. One event leads to the next event. Time always leads to the next time. You can only put things in order if you know what your objective is. What is it that you want to do? Why do you want to do it? When you combine the what and the why, it becomes easier to be organized, which is the how, the when, and the who. You cannot start determining the when before you understand the what and the why. In time, when you become good at managing your events, you can now hypnotize yourself to be able to manage time better. Tips for organizing. You can use this prioritizing time matrix. If something is important and it's urgent, it's got necessity, so you reduce. When it's not urgent but it's important, the quality increases. When it's not important and it's urgent, things that appear to do worth doing, that's not important and urgent. Sometimes they're not important and not urgent. They simply waste your time. These are time-wasting activities. Of these tips, which ones do you see in your personal life? Give 2 examples. Look at your work. What are the things that you do that are important but are not urgent? How much time do you actually allocate to these things? If you can't keep time, you can never be organized. You will always deliver late and look disorganized. You might fix a fault in the most straight systematic way, but if the solution comes late from what you said, the client will say you're not organized. You may categorize your email in the best way possible, but if you reply late, You're not organized. Efficiency is the level of performance that describes a process that uses the lowest amount of inputs to create the greatest amount of outputs. Being effective is about doing the right things. Being able to have things in such a way that they are efficient and effective is time management. When you are efficient, you create more time, which is why we fly. A person who flies and a person who uses the road use time differently. It's like the invention of fire. Fire has made things more efficient and has then given us more time for us to do other things. You are able to digest your food because of fire, because the food is cooked, so you have more time. You don't spend more time on raw food. We're able to fly spaceships because we've got fire. We understood what combustion is all about. So the next time you're in a restaurant and they're cooking your meal over a fire, just remember that event of the cooking makes things easier for you. What improvements in time management are needed in your department? These are some of the questions that you actually need to look at. And what is the impact of lack of organizational skills in your personal life? Remember, it could be poor judgment. Those are some of the impacts. You could have frequent colds. That's the physical symptoms of time mismanagement. Emotional symptoms also exist. Thank you.